at me now. Look at me now. Oh.
For my global final, I decided to make a video instead of going the traditional route and writing a paper, because I feel I'm better suited at orally presenting how I've changed over this course of the semester rather than writing a paper. And I feel that coming to Elon has given me the confidence to take this chance, to take this risk, to express who I really am. And some of the things I'm going to look at that I've changed or that I've realized, and, the process of my thinking through looking at my strengths and weaknesses, and looking at the opportunities that I've had, and my brand, and how I've been true to myself, and learn that, and learn the importance of communication skills. And I'm going to discuss all those topics and show that how I've changed, and the things that I've learned this semester that I feel are important to me and will help me continue to develop over these next 3.5 years.
In the back streets, you'll never know if you don't go. You'll never shine if you don't glow.
First aspect that I want to talk about that I learned through this semester is this idea called SWOT. In my sport management class, we talk about this idea. Stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. The strengths and weaknesses are internal, and I want to look at my strengths and see and emphasize them and highlight them, and set a plan for myself that highlights what I'm good at, and use my weaknesses to emphasize those strengths and to highlight them. And with that, you want to look at opportunities. I want to look at opportunities such as internships or anything that will give me an edge, and look at those opportunities that will highlight my strengths or that will best utilize my strengths. And so it will give me the best opportunity. And I feel SWOT is a very good tool which not only looks at me and it helps you understand what I'm good at, it gives you that. It also gives you an idea of what you can accomplish, what you can achieve. Sort of pairing up what you're good at and what someone is looking for.
Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom.
So, my last econ class, my professor at the end of the class tells us 3 pieces of advice that he wants us to follow. He tells us we should meet a new person every day. Second piece of advice he tells us is that we have to take chances in life. And the third piece of advice he gives us is that you have to go get the things you want in life. No one's going to hand them to you. So I'm going to address the 3 pieces of advice one at a time. First one is to meet a new person every single day. And this is really important the more I think about it, and that someone you meet could be your best friend or your future employer, and every opportunity that you don't meet somebody is a potential opportunity that you're losing. Someone you could use to your advantage to help you, and it's a great opportunity you're passing up if you don't introduce yourself, if you don't go out of your daily routine to meet somebody, to have lunch with them, to get to know them better. You never know what you're passing up. And meeting new people is really an extension of taking chances, and that you have to take chances in order to succeed in life. You never know if you can fly unless you jump. And so you have to break out of your comfort zone and take chances and meet new people and experience things that you've never experienced before. Because you never know what you're going to like unless you try it. And the third piece of advice is that you have to go get the things you want in life, and that I have to take initiatives to go get what I want, to go accomplish my goals, my dreams, and that I have to go meet new people. I have to try to get those opportunities, create as many opportunities as I can for myself, and so that I give myself many opportunities to succeed, to utilize my strengths. And so I feel that these three things are all key aspects of improving yourself, improving your abilities, your opportunities. They all three maxims are good ways to go through life and good ideals to live by.
No, we're superstars. We are who we are.
You know, if you just live in your shell, which, you know, that was probably a thing that I've worked on since I've gotten to Elon, is leaving my comfort zone, leaving my shell, trying to meet new people. Because if you live a sheltered life, you know, it's tough to expand. You know, you're going to be stuck doing the same things over and over, and you're never going to experience those opportunities. You're never going to be able to emphasize your strengths and, you know, and work on your weaknesses. You know, you're going to have the same weaknesses and the same strengths, but you're not going to be utilizing them. You're just going to be in the same place. And so, you know, I definitely learned you have to be proactive, and, you know, you have to be the initiator. You have to initiate, you know, meeting somebody, or, you know, making that contact, and, you know, going and applying for that internship, and not thinking, oh, I can't, you know, I'm not going to get it, you know, I'm just a freshman. That happened to me, actually. You know, I had a chance, there was an opportunity to perhaps work at the Summer Olympics, and, you know, my professor told me, he's like, look, you can apply for it, but, you know, there's not really, you know, you never know if you'll get it. You're a freshman, don't really have like a great resume. And so, you know, I was true to myself, you know, and, you know, I applied for it, and I got in. I didn't accept the opportunity. It wasn't right for me. Just being true to myself again, I realized the opportunity didn't suit my strengths. It wasn't a great opportunity for me. So, and there are better things I can do with my time that utilize my strengths and will help me get ahead. But it felt good to know that on my own merit, really with no one else's help, that I got this position competing against about 40 other kids for about 15 spots. And that, you know, that felt great inside. I was happy, and so, you know, that's one of the biggest things I think I've changed, is, you know, being true to myself, and, you know, doing the things that I like, and, you know, being myself, going after the things that interest me, which for me is sports. I joined the club baseball team, and, you know, joined the sport management club, and doing stuff like that, and not trying to be someone I'm not. And that doesn't mean, like, I can't go to plays, or I can't listen to someone play the piano, because that just enhances my cultural understanding, and, you know, it gives me a lot of new experiences, and, you know, lets me see things I normally wouldn't see if I just stuck to the things I liked. You know, you don't know if you like something unless you try it out, which is something else I think I've done, you know, between trying new food and in the dining halls, or going to see talks or plays, or things that, you know, I probably would have shaken off and just been like, I have better things to do with my time. You know, I go see, you know, performances and such, and you know, just listen to people perform, and I end up liking the things I went and saw. And so I feel like Elon has done a great job of opening up new perspectives and giving students the chances, the opportunities, that's a big word, to experience new cultural things and, you know, events. And giving them opportunities that they haven't probably had in the past. And it's about taking advantage of those opportunities, because this is probably the only time in your life where those things will be as accessible, as easy to go to, cost free for the most part, and high quality stuff. And so it's important to take advantage. And
5% pleasure, 50% pain, 100% reason to remember the name.
college is about branding. It's about branding yourself. Another sport management term. Branding is differentiating a company or your organization using symbols or logos or phrases. And the key about branding is that you want to be separate from your competitors. You want people to be able to recognize your brand, your company, for what it's worth and for the value of that company. And college is where you want to build up your brand. You want people to see how great of a person you are or are becoming through your activities, and so that in the future, that brand has enough value, or people see value in your brand, that they want to hire you for a job, or they want your opinion on a topic, or they want you to write an article for their magazine. And so college, so Elon is giving us the opportunities to expand that brand between, like we said, the cultural experience, the cultural events, the numerous clubs, a lot of opportunities to join at a early stage, like the Fresh TV for a freshman, or I have friends who write for the Pendulum, and me personally, the Sport Management Club, and going and working at events for them, and being part of the honors program. It's about increasing my brand and adding to my brand, and so that I'm different from others. Now, that doesn't mean that I have to be totally different. I have to exclude everybody else, all my competitors, my threats. Going back to the SWOT, my threats. I don't have threats. You want to be able to take other people's opinions, think about how they compare to your own, and make a solid judgment on not only their opinions but your opinions also, and arrive at a middle ground where you take parts from their opinions, you take parts from your opinions, and you have solid evidence to back now what you finally believe. You synthesize from everyone's opinion, everyone's perspectives, so that you have a better understanding of an issue or topic, and then you can use that to aid your brand, and you can increase your knowledge and your understanding. And so obviously the more you know, and the more topics you have an opinion on, the more interesting you are, the more likely people are to engage you in conversation or find you a credible source to talk to.
If you had one shot, one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted, one moment, would you capture it?
That you have one bad impression, it takes 1,000 good impressions to make up for that one bad first impression. And so, whenever you meet somebody, you meet that one person a day, you have to give it your all. You have to have a good impression. You want the person to think well of you, to think your brand has value. And so when they get to know you and they remember that first impression, they say, that kid was knowledgeable, that kid has a global understanding, he recognizes the different perspectives, he's not he's not self-centered, he's not selfish, he realizes there's views outside of his own, he realizes he has to compromise. It can't be his way all the time. He's a good listener. He listens to what I have to say. He acknowledges that I'm an intelligent person. And so, you know, Joe DiMaggio once said, like, he never took a game off because he always felt like there was someone in the stands that day that hadn't seen him play, and he'd be letting him down if he, you know, took a day off and didn't play. And so you can never take a day off. You know, you have to be positive, but be true to yourself. Don't portray an image that you're not. You know, because people, your true friends, or, you know, the people that find value in your brand will like you for who you are and not for something that you're not.
What did she say? What you say?
And the next thing I want to talk about is something else I've changed, is really learning the value of communication and successful communication. And I was at home, always like had to deal with my parents, and you know, and telling, oh, you have to communicate better, you have to tell us where you are, you know, why didn't you email this teacher or this professor, or this, why aren't you texting your friend making plans, or why aren't you setting this up? And I always used to brush aside, like, okay, I'll get to it. And you know, come to college, I realized that if you can't communicate, you're dead in the water, and that communication really is the key to success, and good communication, and being on top of things, and being on time, and remember to set up dates. And you know, I used to never use a date book, you know, and my dad used, you have to set up a date book. Yeah, you know, you have to put events in and stuff. And so, you know, I realized I came to college, I was like, okay, I have to set up a date book. If I don't set up a date book, I'll miss out on everything. I won't have those opportunities to take chances, to meet new people, to go see cultural events I wouldn't have experienced, because I'll be sleeping or I'll be on Facebook all day. And so, you know, that, and I coach a rec basketball team of 5- and 6-year-old kids. And, you know, a big key to the success of that and having the kids show up to practice and make sure everyone's happy is emailing the parents and emailing my fellow coaches and just telling them what's up, even if it's a 30-second email. Just saying, hey, you know, we're having practice here, looking forward to seeing everybody, you know, here's what's coming up, we have games, handing out jerseys, who's bringing the snacks for the next game. And, you know, so far we've had a great season because of this. I think part of this is because I've done a good job communicating, my coach has done a good job communicating, you know, with the parents, and there's been a great cycle, you know, of, you know, fostering communication. And so, you know, it shows my responsibility and, you know, to be motivated to communicate and communicate effectively and efficiently. So, and fosters just a great environment. So, the another topic I want to talk about is sort of how my thinking has changed, you know, over the course of the semester. And I go back to the first day when we watched the Green Day video, American Idiot. And we looked at the lyrics, and, you know, we analyzed what the song was about, and the purpose of the video, or the message that I got from it, was that, you know, you have to think for yourself, and you have to think independently of everyone else. You can use their opinions, you can use their ideas, but ultimately you have to come to your own conclusions, you know, based on facts, based on what you know, based on your own opinions, beliefs, values. You have to come to a reasonable conclusion. And, you know, we've been talking about poverty and genocide and all these great things in the world. You know, it makes me want to move to Mars. You know, there's no genocide there. And so something I took from this class is, through everything we learned, is, as much as we love America, America is not perfect. There are places where we've screwed up royally, where we've acted incorrectly, or we haven't behaved the way we should. We haven't acted as a global friend or a good neighbor to other countries, and we haven't done what's in our power to help those that needed help. And we've ignored facts or messages, maybe because they weren't in our best interest, or they would have hurt us, even though they would have helped more people than they hurt. And sort of the class, what I took is that you can't be afraid to challenge something like that. You have to be open and say, we've done a lot of great things, but we could do better. You can't just go along with the norm and say, hey, everything's great, we're terrific, we're doing everything we can. There's always something you can do better. Whether it's America or yourself, you can always strive to be better. You have to be true to yourself and say, I can do better. And you can't be afraid to challenge something or question something. It goes back to, in communications, we watched George Carlin's 7 Dirty Words, words you can't say on television. And I'm risky by making this video, but I'm taking a chance. But I'm not that ambitious to list all 7 words, because it's a pretty egregious list. But and the reactions from the people are like, watching the video in class, and I imagine the audience at the time was like, is he allowed to say that? Is he allowed to challenge the authorities that told him he couldn't say this? It is such a taboo thing to do, but it was an innovative thing to do. And it's, you can't be afraid to challenge something bigger than yourself. It's perfect. You can always improve on something. There's always room for improvement. And things become more efficient, and we can become better neighbors, and we can not turn the other cheek, and we can, help save people while helping ourselves. And as a person, we can be a global citizen and, do more to help those in need. And that adds to our brand, by helping others, and by showing a true passion in helping others. That adds to our values and our beliefs and our overall self-image. I've become a better thinker, a more globally aware thinker, more ready to challenge something that I don't believe in, call someone out, not in a mean way, but in a way that says, well, are you looking at this side of the story, or, do we admit any information that's relevant? I would like to just conclude my oral presentation by summing everything that I've talked about and tying it all together. And I definitely felt that this first semester caused me to develop a lot of skills and keep developing a lot of skills. First is to keep always looking at your strengths and seeing what areas you can improve on. And this is a continuous process, as is looking at your opportunities and looking and see what opportunities fit your character and fit your strengths. And the idea being behind this is that come to college to improve your brand, improve your value of yourself. And this accomplished by acquiring as much knowledge as you can, as many perspectives as you can. And really, I think that's how my view of thinking has changed. And writing and thinking are about collecting perspectives and seeing how other people view the world or view the same topics that you view, and how their opinions are different, and that you have to be a good communicator in that you express your opinions and views, but that you're willing to listen to other people's views and opinions that you meet. And it's about meeting as many people as you can and taking chances and meeting new people so that you can find out these new views and perspectives that you may otherwise have been immune to. You know, if you had just continued going on thinking your way is always correct, because we are not perfect. You know, we all have flaws. We all have things that weak areas of improvement, and you have to admit that. You have to be able to challenge yourself and say, I can do better. I can be more inclusive and be more accepting. And I feel like that's really how I've changed over this semester. And willing to take chances, willing to listen, willing to get feedback, and so I know this video isn't perfect. I know I use the word "you" more than I should have, even though I'm talking about myself the whole time in the video. But I feel confident. I feel confident that this is a new perspective. You don't have many kids making videos, and that hopefully you've enjoyed what I've said, that you like my brand, you like what I represent. My last words are that I know who I am. I was true to myself. I presented the information in a way that I thought best fitted my character. So with that, I know who I am. Who are you?